Yo, I'm Nez, and we up in the kitchen, and this time, what we're gonna be making is, let's see if you can look at the ingredients and figure it out. If you can't, you know what, I'll just tell you, I ain't got time for that. We're gonna be making an Instant Pot chicken noodle soup. And as you can see from all the ingredients here, I already took a little time to do some prep work because I ain't got time to be shooting a video of all that. Everyone knows how to cut the onions, onions, carrots, and celery, which is what you see there. So this is very minimal ingredients. I'm not trying to get too crazy with the video here. So I'm just gonna basically go over with you what I have here. Obviously, you see your chopped celery, onions, and carrots there. Bong. You see your noodles, right? Obviously, I got my 2 pounds of frozen chicken. And yes, this recipe is going to be from frozen, so you can see how I do it. It's going to be in 2 simple steps. I'm going to be using the big Gowise 12 quart bong. All right, got some minced garlic, some EVOO, and I got my seasonings. My seasonings of choice is Saute, Italian seasoning, and Mosa glue. And I also got like a little hand blender here for after the first step. I got to shred up the chicken. So this is how easy it's going to be. So let's get into that. Basically, I already got my Instant Pot on Saute to heat it up because that just makes things a little faster. Also, I just want to let you know that hold on a second. Also needed in this recipe, you got your 10 cups of chicken broth or chicken stock, whatever you want to call it, but you need 10 cups of that. So basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to open this up. All right, bong. This should be getting nice and hot in there. Yeah, the lid is starting to get warm, but it's not completely hot yet, but it's all right. And I'm going to dump my chicken stock in there. Hold on a second. Okay, we're gonna dump my, now actually, you know what, before I dump my chicken stock in there, what I want to do is I just want to saute a little bit of this garlic, just to get the garlic in there, you know. About 2 tablespoons will do. Okay, I got the 2 tablespoons of garlic in there. Just want to move that around a little bit just to let it simmer a little bit, saute, just to get the garlic in there. Okay, now the garlic is starting to simmer up really good there. Now we're gonna dump our stock in. $10 cups. Bong, let that all marinate up in there. Now we're gonna let that heat up until it starts simmering up a little bit. And as soon as that starts simmering, because don't forget I still got the saute function on. As soon as that starts simmering up real good and it starts to boil a little bit, then I'm going to go ahead and put my rack in there. I'm going to set my rack inside there, and I'm going to set the chicken on top of the rack. All right, so that way we cook the chicken first. And so we'll be back in as soon as this starts boiling. All right, we back in. As you can see, we all boiling there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set my chicken on the racks there. Didn't mean for that to fall in the water, but it's fine. Bong, sitting it on the rack, just like that. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of fresh cracked salt and pepper. If you like these bad boys, I'll put the links in the description where you can get these. These are pretty cool. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, you know what? Let me hit it with a little more of my Sazon. You know how I feel. Flavor upon flavor upon flavor. So that's never gonna hurt it. All right, so now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the lid on. Okay, make sure the pressure's on this bad boy, and now we're going to turn it off, and we're going to do manual for 15 minutes. All right, and just on high, manual 15 minutes on high, and let that do what it do. and we're gonna come back when that's done and start get to shredding up the chicken. So see you on the flip. Okay, we're back in, we're all done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and release this pressure. My trick is I like to throw a rag over it and release the pressure so that we don't have to worry about any spattering stuff, spitting all over the place. You know how it is when you got a lot of fluid in there. There's all kinds of fluid spitting out, you know, getting on your walls and your cabinets and stuff. So I just throw a little rag over, a kitchen rag. You know, always got one hanging. Always got one hanging on there or something like that. So we're just gonna let that pressure release, and then as soon as that pressure comes down and remove the lid, take out the chicken, throw it in a bowl, and we're gonna shred it up, and then we're gonna start adding in the rest of our stuff. So as soon as this pressure comes down, we'll come back in. Okay, we back in. It seems like all the pressure has come down. It's down to 3 pounds, so that's enough. I can go ahead and pull the lid off. Now keep in mind this is very hot, y'all, so just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna pull this off. Let the water drain down in there a little bit. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pull the tongs out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the chicken out and set it in the bowl so that way I can put the lid back on and preserve the heat. And at this point, see, it's already coming apart. And at this point is where I'm going to go ahead and pull the racks out. Doesn't matter if the chicken gets in the water, it's fine. It's going to go in there anyway. See, now this is where I'm going to go ahead and pull this rack out if I can get it out, because we no longer need that in there. Pull this out, put it into the sink, let that drip off. Okay, so I'm gonna shred that chicken, but all right, so let me go ahead and pull this out, shred the chicken, and then we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. So put that back on to preserve the heat. All right, so now, whoop, sorry about that. You know, pardon the extra shakiness. You know how I do with my little mount situation going on there. Okay, so let's go ahead. We got the mixer plugged up. Hopefully I don't blow a fuse, because I know the pressure cooker uses a lot of power. So, okay, good. So now what I'm going to do is just push that down a little bit. Let me try to angle it down a little bit better. Push that down a little bit just to kind of like push through, and you can see like it's pushing through pretty good. See how easy it is? All you gotta do is do like short little jabs in there with the mixer, and then it'll shred it all apart for you. And that's it. That's all you had to do. Nice and simple. Shred your chicken up, piece of cake. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add all our ingredients, everything, back into the pot. Let me just move this out the way. Hold on a second. Okay, so what I did was I hit the saute button back, which I forgot to put it on high. Saute, adjust, and then set to high. So I got the saute button back just to keep the water, you know, the broth nice and hot, because I want it to be nice and hot. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add in all of our ingredients. All right, bong. We're gonna add in our chicken. Bong. Our noodles. This is roughly about maybe 6-8 ounces of noodles. You know, if you like more, you can put more. If you like less, you can put less. Keep in mind that is 10 cups of broth in there, or stock. Now, you notice that I told you before that I put it on Saute. And the reason why I do that is because it keeps the heat going. So that way it takes less time for pressure to build up when you do set this for, start this going. So I'm just going to give this a little mix. A little bit just to try to incorporate some of the ingredients. And this is where I'm going to add in some of my Italian seasoning. Be liberal about it, do it to your taste. A little bit more sazon. Now don't overdo it. Keep in mind that, you can always add more salt later. You don't want to put too much because then you can't remove salt, but you can always add it if you need to. So I'm just going to kind of mix this together. This is going to be a nice hearty chicken noodle soup here. I'll tell you that. Hold on. And what we're going to do is, before I go any further, I just want to state that I know I kept saying I put 10 cups of stock in there. Really, it's 12 cups. I have 12 cups of chicken broth or stock, so make sure you adjust your recipes for 12 cups. You probably even go 14 if you want, but I got 12 for this recipe right here. So I know I kept saying 10, but I really meant 12. Don't worry, I'm gonna put the recipe down in the description so that way there's no discrepancies. So just, I know all the people, the comment patrol, they like to go and correct people. So just note that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the lid back on. If I can. Oh, there we go. Okay. Make sure it's on pressure. Okay, and then we're gonna stop this, and then we're gonna just set on manual for 5 minutes and let that do what it do for 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes we should come back and we should be good. So it shouldn't take long for it to start to build up pressure because it's already hot. That's the whole point of me keeping the fluid hot, keeping the liquid that's in there hot, so that way it won't take long to come to pressure. So we'll come back in a couple minutes when this is done and see what we're working with. So see you on the flip again. Okay, we back in, we all done. So I'm gonna go ahead and release that pressure. You know how I do, got the rag. Let that pressure release up a little bit. And then as soon as it's all released, then hey, we're gonna see all this chicken soup goodness. So let's wait and let that go. Okay, it's down to 3 pounds of pressure right now, so I believe we're good. So now, remember, the lid is very hot, so use, protect your hands. Go ahead and open this up. See what we're working with here. Let the water drain off from the lid. Ooh, look at that. Look how hardy that is. Look how hardy that is. Let's go ahead and give it a stir. Look at that. This is going to be so good. This is going to be so... that's my wife. She smells it up there. She's been waiting for this. Yeah, buddy. So let me go ahead and put a bowl together for my wife and let you see who you're working with. Hold on. See you on the flip. Okay, I served up 2 bowls. Look how good that looks. Look at the color on that. Look at all the colors of the celery and the carrots mixed with the onions and the noodles. This is going to be so good. It's so good. So I just want to do a quick video, maybe not so quick, but a video on my Instant pot. Well, it's not really the Instant pot. It's the Gowise USA, but the concept is the same. But the pressure cooker chicken noodle soup. I'll put the links in the description for the Gowise plus my salt and pepper shaker, and I'll put the recipe down in the description. But definitely make this, because I already know it's so good. I don't even have to taste it. I know it's so good. So with that being said, I'm Nez. I'm up in the kitchen, and I'm out this piece.